Ishka served as a bastion, protecting the kingdom from various threats, including the dangers of the Tegu forest. The city became a vital trade gateway, bustling with adventurers and supported by a thriving industry. The guild overseeing these adventurers wielded considerable authority, and their most important meetings were held in a high room within their headquarters. Sora sat confidently in the center of this room. Just a day before, he would have shivered with nerves, but now he felt different. A guild member questioned if he intended to withdraw his accusation that the Falcon Sword had attacked him deliberately. Sora's mind was made up, but there were discrepancies in the story. Lars suddenly asked if Muru had truly cast a spell on Sora. Given the paralysis and panic during the incident, suspicion was warranted. They should have questioned the servant first, but she insisted her magic wasn't aimed at Sora, claiming it was an accident. Sora laughed cynically at his own misfortune, but then, with a serious demeanor, asked the guild leader to confirm that the spell was cast while they were fleeing, with the monster behind them and Sora in front. This meant the spell was directed at him, not the monster. Even a child learning magic wouldn't make such a mistake. Feeling cornered, Lytle said they were there to confirm the claims and reach a compromise, asking Sora to stop using harsh words. He laughed at the receptionist's pretense, seeing through her attempt to protect their high-ranking adventurers by dismissing his case. When he asked if he was insulting the guild, he was immediately told to punish the offenders. The woman didn't even acknowledge the impact on him, instead instructing him to drop the case, stating he had no grounds for it. He had no intention of backing down. Instead, he relished the look of irritation on her face, recalling how she had previously expelled him from the guild. She asked what he wanted them to do, her tone both arrogant and defiant, but he didn't care. Even if it meant appealing to the Holy Temple and accusing one of their priests of colluding with a sinner, he was prepared to go that far. Considering their lie-detecting spells, he saw it as a better option than wasting time arguing. Elia tried to stop him, subtly questioning the priest and using her affiliation to threaten him. Merwin defended his friend, claiming they had nothing to do with the incident and were instead taking advantage of the situation, leaving the fallen victim as bait. Disbelieving, Sora accused them of being lying murderers. Sora suggested they were planning to frame a story, portraying his death as an unfortunate event. The elf mage and the priest must have cast some sort of deceptive magic. Stunned by the accusation, Merwin admitted the situation was dire even for the adventurers, asserting that both parties shouldn't be dragged down together. He referenced an old case of a sailor who, when his ship sank, clung to a plank in the sea. When another sailor came, the plank was too small for both, forcing the first sailor to push the second away to his death. He was later tried for murder, but acquitted. Sora and Lars exchanged looks, realizing what had just been admitted. Merwin had essentially confessed to attacking Sora intentionally out of necessity. The captain was speechless, and the mage frantically apologized, insisting she only wanted to save him, and that it was all she could think of at the moment. She said she should be blamed if she failed only because she wasn't good enough. Lars, stepping in, said he would take the punishment, arguing that she wasn't solely at fault. Confirming his words, he told Sora to do whatever he wanted, even saying he would apologize for his folly. Sora accepted the leader's offer and ordered him to leave. He declared that he would kill the mage to end the entire matter. His intense determination was evident, and everyone retreated as he demanded Merwin admit he would kill her only after showing her true health. Lars ordered Sora to stop joking, stating he would never grant such a request. The victim, however, questioned why Lars was angry, repeating Sora's words to do whatever he wanted, and insisted there were limits to what could be done. Lars argued there was no need to take a life, especially since Sora had survived. But Sora retorted that just because he survived on his own strength didn't mean they should let the attempted killer go free. He suggested ending it by killing the attacker. Lars told him to stop calling her a killer because Sora was still alive and well. He asked Sora to imagine being stabbed in the heart and magically saved by a passing priest. Despite surviving, Sora would still consider the person who stabbed him a murderer. Sora's logical argument left Lars speechless, as they all realized how unreasonable the situation was. Alad then argued that the injury was to the arm, not the heart, but it was still a crime. He accused Sora of manipulating the story and creating an allegory to favor his side. Sora stared at him, knowing Alad had wanted to speak from the start, and now tried to interrogate him. Repeating what he said about the arm, Sora noted that the Ranksy party should know about the Lord of the Flies ecology, and that letting it live was much harder. Seeing Lars' confusion, Sora politely asked Alad to explain clearly. Alad hesitated, knowing the answer but unwilling to say it. Feeling cornered, the captain ordered him to explain. Alad spoke about how the Lord of the Flies would bring its paralyzed prey back to its nest to feed the larvae. As he lay there, alive but unable to move, the realization of what had happened to Sora hit him. He began to understand a fraction of the despair she must have felt. The victim then asked AD whether killing someone on the spot was more cruel than letting them be eaten alive. His question was met with silence. He sarcastically called them good friends for keeping quiet about a murderer in their midst. Lars ordered him to stop insulting his members, but then he was asked if he truly believed it was just a coincidence that the group ran towards him during the attack. The truth was clear. The wizard and the priest probably knew there was a chance of survival if they left someone as bait. Naturally, it was the captain who was paralyzed by the poison, yet his comrades remembered how they met their former member in the forest. He accused them of deliberately seeking him out. Muru called his claims false, but he was glad they were finally retaliating. He pointed out that the wizard chose not to use fire magic, despite its effectiveness against insects, because it would have killed him too. Sora was acutely aware of the monster's hunting habits, and knew that only a living person was needed to avoid killing the bait. The wizard had used wind magic, limiting its power to hurt him with the aim of using him as bait. Lars refused to believe it, but Sora reminded them that among those who saw him as a parasite, Muru hated him the most. She had spread a bad reputation about him to isolate and eventually expel him. Still, he had stayed in the city, enduring it all. When the Lord of the Flies attacked, Muru found the perfect opportunity and used the monster to orchestrate his murder, knowing she could claim mitigating circumstances if accused. Lars couldn't believe how Sora could accuse his former comrade of such a thing, but Sora repeated how they had said they had nothing more to do with him in the forest. The room fell silent as everyone realized it was true. Muru, defeated, admitted to the attack, but claimed it was a momentary act not meant to kill him. While this might have been true, Sora found it hard to believe. He argued that no woman would admit to murder in front of a man she fancied. With that, they were cornered. She relied on her status as the daughter of a Commerce Chamber official, threatening him with consequences. However, her bluff faltered as tears streamed down her face. Enjoying the moment, she declared she wouldn't withdraw her opinion, but would instead consult with the guild. Confirming her decision with the receptionist, she requested a priest who could use a lie detection spell. The truth would then be revealed, and she promised to drop all charges if proven wrong. They viewed her as a burden and used her as bait to save Lars, which was their true intention, and this would surely be uncovered by the lie detection. As the suspect's tears fell, he calmly pointed out that such a spell required a significant donation, specifically 20 silver coins, which he doubted she had. He suggested the guild should pay to clear the confusion, but she argued it was her proposal. The guild would certainly want to prevent punishment for the Falcon Sword, and the receptionist clearly didn't like her while already understanding the situation. She claimed that his view of the incident seemed influenced by his painful history with the party. Lie detection should clarify that, but she insisted on the necessary donation. Feeling hurt, she told the Commerce Chamber's daughter to use this opportunity to clear her name. However, she and Lars saw no need, believing they knew how awful she was. They attempted to withdraw the proposal, but she suddenly announced she could pay and arrogantly produced some gold coins, questioning why they were discarded. She commanded them to call a priest. It was clear the wealth came from the merchant's prayers. When asked if they thought she obtained it illegally, the Soul Eater essence began to seep out, and she demanded a priest be summoned immediately, casting a threatening glance at the receptionist and asking how long she would remain idle. She thanked them for kicking her out of the guild, which essentially led her to find the coins. She agreed with everything they said, trembling in fear from the sinister presence. Everyone froze as the Soul Eater's essence neared manifestation. However, Sora was interrupted when the door opened, and an impressive man entered, identifying himself as a survivor of the monster attack and ordering her to stop bullying the staff. The large man approached Sora and asked if he was the one who survived the Lord of the Flies.